Welcome back. We're doing the quarterly M&S Night League report. We are currently at the field in a vehicle.
Well, brought to you by the Honda Studios. We're here, as Max just said, for, just not really the mid-season report, more of the quarterly report.
We're going to run down quickly each team with their record. Just throw in a couple of highlights and maybe lowlights for this season, to start.
I think let's start from the bottom and work our way up.
Really? I was going to go the other way around, but it's fine. Well, to the bottom, to cut them some slack, they played the most games this season with the unbalanced schedule.
They already played 8 games, and we're actually talking about the Toronto Blue Jays, which is captained by Jimmy Malach, rookie captain Jimmy Malach.
Okay, a lot of things going on with this team. They're currently at 2-6. They lost, I could tell you, I did 3 of their games. 3 games by 1 run. They were 1 swing away from a win. Jimmy Malach roped one into the right center field gap. That could have been a game winner, and Carlos Abadi made a beautiful catch.
I would say there's one underlying issue of why this team is 2-6 and not 6-2 or even in middle of the road is because I feel like their team's mindset. They come to the field, they're not as focused as the other teams are. Because as you see, top to bottom, their lineup is really stacked.
Fair enough. I think over the course of the season, they did show latest. We have the latest start times with that team. Some people will say it's not the reason. Some people will say we love camaraderie. Look at the YMSL, the Cleveland Indian team, the Montreal Expo team. I think they're a proof to when teams are together, good things do happen.
Well, this team in general, they have this rookie sensation, Jojo Saruya, who's tearing apart the league.
If you're going to have a look and say, was there a steal pick? He's probably...
Look up and down their lineup. Avi Dweck's having another Avi Dweck Night League year, which is insane.
He doesn't like to hear that. He likes to let you know that he does hit YMSL as well, but he's raking the ball.
But he's doing his thing at night, and Jordy Rameld has yet to shown why he was taken in the first round. I think he has something to prove also. But look at their team up and down really doesn't really have any holes or flaws.
Defensively, the first 2 games, they were weak. Jimmy Malach found a little niche, and it took a couple of games for him to find himself there. And surprisingly enough, for those of you that don't know, he could pitch.
And you know what? I believe I watched it last night with my own eyes. Jimmy doesn't walk batters, throws hard enough, very competitive, doesn't lose himself. I think he will be a pitcher in the years to come.
I think he should. He's young enough to put himself in as a pitcher because he doesn't have any real outstanding
defensive
position.
Next team we'll talk about is really not much to talk about. It's balanced attack. Maurice Haber's squad, they only played one night, which is 2 games. Tonight, we're here before the games. They're about to play their 3rd and 4th games of the season. So I really wasn't here when they played, so you tell me.
Okay, well, I will say Zach Ishkenazi is a Gold Glove shortstop. He didn't play shortstop this Sunday morning league, but he's Gold Glove there. They got a little bit of hard luck because it was an interesting night with rain. We waited, and their all-star third baseman, David Rishti, left his phone in the car and took a shower and didn't come back to the field for nobody knows why. He left when nobody else did. 2 very competitive games.
Well, if you realize David Rishti's hair is always gelled, so maybe it got dry. I don't know. Maybe he had to go wet it again or re-wet it or gel it, something. I don't know.
Could be. But their team is a balanced attack defensive team for sure. With David Farka, Bobby Safdie, David Rishti, and Zach on the left side, Meyer Safdie on the mound.
I think the best part of their team is you look at it up and down, there's no flaw or a glaring flaw.
That's why the name of the team, Balanced Attack, does fit the description of what the team is. Their question mark will be the back end of their lineup, and that was Maurice's issue last year too. So the back end, David Beta and A.B. Duche is a year older. He looks much better at the plate. That could be something good. I think they're going to be in the middle of the road, but like Sammy said, it's only 2 games. They lost both games.
I don't think we can't really
3-1.
So they were in both games, but they didn't score those 2 games.
I think they're going to be fine.
Next team on top is the surprising PepsiCo organization.
Yes, 2-2.
So that team, I had the honor of watching them, and I'll tell you what. As you look at their team from last year to this year, we mentioned in the preseason show that it's more or less the same team, give or take a few players. They actually look a lot better this year. They came to the field. I know they got killed game 1, and then they bounced back and won game 2, and they split again the next week. And Eliezer does his thing at shortstop. He is who he is. He's a great player. Zolta is a flat-out great hitter as well, who's not hitting well yet. And Max Yedid has been a pleasant surprise.
Surprising. Now, another thing Sammy mentioned, they were missing Michael Solomon. Last year they had Michael Solomon, but the fact that all these young guys are a year older I think they're getting more mature. And a name that flew off the radar, off everybody's radar, because he wasn't great in the YMSL this year, was Sam Loudon. He shows up to this field playing a Gold Glove.
So rumors have it he is genetically cloned, and the Sam Loudon that plays in the YMSL is not the Sam Loudon that plays in the night league.
It seems that way. And in addition to the team is a really great veteran, Jody LeBose, who also has a great stroke, but in this night league, I think this field's very suited for him.
And he also calms their team in a way where they actually needed it last year. And in addition, DC plays a lockdown left field.
David Shrem at third.
Good team.
They have a nice team. Nothing special.
Michael Antar catching.
Right.
Good solid team.
I could see this team falling off the radar and getting out of the playoff race if they lose themselves. They have enough of a team that could do that. But then again,
the problem is because they're all boys and because they're all too close of friends, sometimes you lose sight of the fact that you're actually all there to win.
If they stay in the mix, they could be a team you don't want to face with Maxie Deed on the mound.
Next team is the 3-3 Awesome organization.
Okay, there's another team who is interesting for the night league because Maurice Shama, for some reason, early in the season, seems to be like he just goes through the motions.
And then once the playoff time hits, he turns into the legend.
That's the question. We're at a point of the season. They're 3-3. And if they falter once or twice more with their team just flaking a little bit, they could be in threat for missing the playoffs. They may have to put their pedal to the metal a little earlier than they want to.
I think that team's fine. You look at their team up and down the lineup, even without Mo Shama, the subs that they get for him, and up and down, left and right. I really believe that without Mo Shama, their team will be fine. They'll be a playoff team because remember, most teams do make the playoffs. And
5 out of 7.
So once they're in, guess what? Look out. Mo Shama's back, and that team is their whole mojo's back.
They do have Natan Safdie, Carlos, a very speedy team.
And Natan took the next level.
Now, last week, the threat of that team came into fruition. They didn't hit. They don't have the power bats. David Arari's that lock power bat, but David's prone to go in and out sometimes.
Right.
So I do think they're a force to be reckoned with, but they have to wake up earlier than they usually would.
I think they're fine. Next team up is the San Francisco Giants.
Okay. First time they played.
2-2 record, by the way.
The first time they played, their players did not play up to par, and even though it was mid-tier players, they're missing some players. The next week, which was last week, they won 2. Ralph Hannon was dominant.
Yeah, so Ralph, I tell you right now, he is their make it or break it for their team. If Ralph was who the Ralph was who showed up last week and throws 14 innings of one-run ball, then there probably will be...
You don't have to get that every week, but in the ballpark, at least he's pitching the way he should. And my question mark on that team was their defense, and their defense was pretty good. Give him credit. Let's jump to the next team. I think they're a contender.
Sterling Silver. So
very interesting.
So Sterling Silver's team, I tell you right now, if you ask me to give you a 20-minute show on this, I still can't cover it all. Ike Mavora grabbed the ball again for the first time in 9 weeks since he hurt himself in the YMSL. Nemi Katz got hit. Salim Levy's in the mix is pitching, so their pitching situation I still can't give you an answer on. Defensively, they actually looked pretty good yesterday. Hitting, I'm not sure if they're good enough. Their lineup on paper looks like it's good, but then they don't put together big innings. They leave a lot of men on base. I think, like Nemi usually does, he has a good regular season, and the jury's out for the playoffs. Let's see how their pitching shakes out.
It's going to come to see how they end the season. If Ike Mavora, I heard he pitched phenomenal.
I'll tell you, I was there firsthand. He pitched great. He actually pitched great.
If Ike finds himself going into the playoffs, if their team's in the mix, which we think they're going to be, then they're a major force to be reckoned with. Back with the ace on the mound, and he was taken later, which helped them build up this team with a lot of trades as well.
And finally, there is the current first place 4-0 team, the only undefeated team.
They're the most...
King Solomon.
I'll tell you why they're the most impressive 4-0 to me. I watched both their games. Ali did not play up to par yet. Last week, I think he had 2 hits on the night. And he was not in the field. He was phenomenal.
So Ali was pedestrian at the plate.
Yes, and Michael Solomon hasn't looked great. And how about this? Week 1, Rob Solomon wasn't on his game.
Right, I heard he got actually touched up pretty hard.
So if I'm going to tell you that Ali, Michael Solomon, and
Rob
Solomon both haven't hit their peak yet early in the season. Both
and remember, they got a steal. They got Michael Cohen, who was drafted in the 4th round in a trade later. So they got a player in acquisitions. Their team is actually pretty solid up to bottom. So, and guess who leads the league in hitting right now? Only 12 at-bats is Victor Shrem. You would never think Victor Shrem would be leading the league in hitting.
And he's hitting the ball hard.
And he's hitting the ball well. You can see on the highlights. So I think this team actually from before the season and now quarterly, and I'm surprised. I'll be shocked the next time we'll be talking to you they won't be in the same position.
Right.
They're my favorite right now.
They are the favorite. Their record shows they're the favorite, and I think they deserve to be the favorite. That is our quick rundown of the league. The one that stood out to me the most, obviously, even though he's on the team with the worst record, you got to say is Jojo Soroya.
Yeah, so, go on the website, see the highlights, see everything that he did. Jojo Soroya has become the front runner for the Rookie of the Year award. And listen, hopefully we'll have some more pleasant surprises. Check out this month's Community Magazine for the M&S Baseball's
Player of the Month,
Sportsman of the Month, and runner-up.
Coming out in August, I believe.
And just stay tuned for any up-to-date league news and news, notes, and nuggets. And we'll get back to you. Have a good one.
Have a great